They say aging is unavoidable, but losing your erections? That's a decision. Because there's one surprisingly simple food, yes, just one, it can give you erections so firm, so full, and so long-lasting. You'll wonder why no doctor mentioned it before. And no, it's not some rare superfruit or overhyped supplement. This is an everyday food hiding in plain sight at your neighborhood grocery store. And for men over 60, it can feel like flipping a power switch back on waking up a part of you that's been dormant for years. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a men's health expert with more than 3 decades of experience, helping older men reclaim their energy and drive without relying on prescription meds. What I've found through years of research and real results is simple. Your body still knows how to perform. You just have to give it the right fuel. Now, here's what stuns most of my patients. It's not age that's killing your erections. It's poor circulation. And one natural food can restore blood flow to the penis better than most pills on the market. It's clinically backed. It's safe. And in just 7 days, you can start seeing results. In just a minute, I'll tell you what this food is, exactly how to use it, and which harmful daily habits might be canceling out its effect. Stick with me, because this could change everything about your health, confidence, and performance starting tonight. But first, if you're a man over 60 who's looking for real, no-nonsense strategies to stay strong, healthy, and confident, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a tip made for you. And if you're already feeling this message, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can make these videos more helpful for you. Now that you're here, let's talk about the real reason so many men over 60 struggle with weak or fading erections. It's not aging, and it's definitely not a lack of desire. The truth is more surprising, and it all begins inside your blood vessels. 1. The real reason erections fade after 6. Oh, I've had countless men sit in front of me, eyes down, voice low, asking the same heartbreaking question. Doc, is this just part of getting old? And every single time, I look them in the eye and say, no, it's not your age. It's your circulation. Erections aren't just about testosterone. They're about blood flow. When you're young, your blood vessels are open, elastic, and clean. Blood rushes in easily, filling the penis and triggering those strong, spontaneous erections you barely had to think about. But over time, often with no warning, those same vessels begin to narrow. Plaque builds up, inflammation sneaks in, and suddenly, things stop working like they used to. It starts subtle, fewer morning erections, weaker performance, longer recovery. Then one day, it just doesn't happen at all. Here's what most guys don't realize. The arteries that supply blood to your penis are some of the tiniest in your body. They're the canary in the coal mine. If they're clogged, it's not just your sex life on the line, it's your heart, your brain, your entire cardiovascular system. This isn't about shame. It's about knowing your body. Because once you understand the real cause, you can finally fix it. And the best part? There's one food that can actually help reverse this. It brings blood flow back right where you need it. So what is this? Miracle food hiding in plain sight? And why does it beat out most prescription options? 2. The one food that clears the way. Beetroot. I'll never forget the first time I suggested beetroot to a patient struggling with erections. He looked at me like I was crazy. Beetroot? You mean those purple things my wife throws in salad? I laughed and said yes. Those exact purple things hold a secret most men will never hear from their doctors. Beetroot is one of nature's most potent boosters of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is the key chemical your body depends on to relax blood vessels and allow more blood to flow, especially to the penis. When nitric oxide levels dip, blood flow slows. Erections weaken or don't happen at all. But when you naturally boost nitric oxide, It's like opening floodgates. Blood rushes where it's supposed to, and the difference is night and day. What makes beetroot so powerful is its high nitrate content nutrients your body converts into nitric oxide, especially when combined with the right bacteria in your mouth and gut. In clinical studies, men over 60 who drank beetroot juice saw real changes. Improved blood pressure, better circulation, and yes, stronger erections within just days. No side effects. No prescriptions. Just real natural support for a body that's been silently begging for better blood flow. What I love most? It's so simple. A glass of beet juice. A side of roasted beets at dinner. You're not flipping your entire lifestyle. You're just giving your body what it's been missing for years. But here's the catch. As amazing as beetroot is, it can't work alone if you're counting on it while ignoring the root causes. Behind performance issues, you'll hit a wall. In fact, I'll walk you through exactly why pills stop working and how beetroot does what those drugs only claim to. 3. Why beetroot works when pills don't even. Met patients who filled an entire shelf with pills Viagra, Charlie's herbal mixes, testosterone injections, hoping one of them would bring back their sex life. And I always ask them the same thing. Has anyone ever told you why those pills stopped working? The room goes silent because the answer is almost always no. They got a prescription, not a real explanation. Here's what most guys never hear. Pills like Viagra don't create erections. They only amplify a process that should already be happening. Think of them like a remote control for your garage door. Helpful, sure, but useless if there's no car inside. If your blood vessels are clogged, if nitric oxide is low, if your circulation is sluggish, then no pill can force blood to go where it physically can't. That's where beetroot is different. It doesn't override your body, it restores it. It feeds your natural systems, helping your body remember how to function the way it used to. Instead of trying to flip a dead switch, it rewires the power behind the wall. That's why it works even when the little blue pill doesn't. And some of my most skeptical patients, men who were all but ready to give up, rediscovered their strength, confidence, and energy just by changing what was on their plate. Now, don't get me wrong, just eating beetroot won't fix everything if you're unknowingly canceling out its effects. There are 3 silent habits I see all the time in older men that completely block nitric oxide production and crush erections faster than aging ever could. Odds are you're doing at least one of them without realizing it. Let me show you what they are. 4. How to use beetroot for maximum effect. When I first recommended beetroot to my older patients, most thought I was just suggesting they eat more vegetables. But this isn't about salad. It's about precision. It's about knowing when, how, and how much to use to see actual results in the bedroom. And when you get it right, the change can be dramatic. One of my patients, Alan, 72 years old, had nearly given up. He wasn't depressed, just resigned. You could hear it in his voice when he told me, "Doc, I'm not trying to feel like I'm 25 again. I just want to feel like a man again." That's what Alan told me. So I set him up with a simple beetroot plan, nothing fancy. Just a few ounces of fresh beetroot juice each morning, a pinch of sea salt, and a serving of leafy greens on the side. Within a week, he told me his energy felt different. 2 weeks in, those strong morning erections returned. And by the end of the month, he was smiling, not because of what I promised him, but because of what his own body had confirmed. If you're using beetroot, here's how to do it properly. Drink 4 to 6 ounces of fresh beetroot juice daily, preferably 1 to 2 hours before activity. Or enjoy half a cup of roasted or steamed beets with a meal rich in healthy fats. Even beetroot powder in a smoothie can work. Just don't overcook it. Too much heat destroys the active compounds that make it effective. And for a stronger nitric oxide boost, pair it with nitrate-friendly greens like spinach or arugula. Now, Even if you follow this perfectly, there's a silent threat. Some everyday habits can completely shut down the progress you've made. And most men don't even know they're doing them. Yet they're powerful enough to erase all the benefits. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the top 3 hidden habits that sabotage erections, even if you're eating all the right foods. 5. Meet Harold. One of my favorite patients. Harold was 67 when he walked into my office. Soft-spoken, well-groomed, respectful, but in his eyes, I saw something I've seen far too many times. Disappointment, maybe even shame. After a long pause, he finally said, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I love my partner, but I've been avoiding intimacy. I can't take another failure." Sadly, Harold wasn't alone. I've had that exact conversation hundreds of times, and it never gets easier, because it's not just about sex. It's about self-respect, pride, that quiet strength that makes a man feel like himself again. Harold had already tried the pills. They worked, until they didn't. He told me it felt like he was chasing a version of himself that kept slipping further away. So instead of chasing symptoms, we started from within. I introduced him to beetroot, explained the role of nitric oxide, and helped him correct just a few critical habits that were quietly sabotaging his progress. What happened next didn't surprise me, but it sure shocked Harold. Within 2 weeks, firmer morning erections. By the end of the month, he wasn't avoiding intimacy anymore. He was initiating it. "I thought that part of my life was over," he said. "But it turns out it was just asleep." Harold's story stuck with me because it reminded me why I do what I do. When a man feels powerful in his body, again, his whole world changes. But here's what I haven't told you yet. Harold almost didn't get those results. He was unknowingly doing something that nearly erased his progress. And sadly, most men are making the exact same mistake. In fact, there are 3 common habits I see all the time, habits that can quietly destroy nitric oxide levels, block circulation, and kill your results, even if everything else is on point. Let me show you what they are. 6. 3 habits that cancel out beetroot's benefits. This is the part most men don't expect. You could be doing everything right, drinking beetroot juice daily, eating healthy, exercising, and still feel stuck. That's exactly what happened to Harold at first. He followed my instructions perfectly. But after 10 days, he returned, frustrated. "Doc, I feel a little better, but not much." So I asked him a few simple questions and uncovered the 3 hidden habits that were quietly blocking his progress. The first one? Mouthwash. Harold was using it every single morning without fail. What Harold didn't realize was that most commercial mouthwashes destroy the very bacteria in your mouth that help turn beetroot's nitrates into nitric oxide. Without those bacteria, the whole process breaks down. I asked him to switch to warm salt water or a natural mouth rinse, and within a week, his results changed dramatically. The second issue? His low-fat diet. For years, he avoided fats, thinking he was doing his heart a favor. But healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, and omega-3 south are essential for testosterone production. Without them, even perfect circulation won't ignite true desire. Once we added these back into his meals, his energy and mood lifted fast. And the third habit? Sitting too long. Harold spent hours at a desk without moving. That kind of physical inactivity chokes off circulation to the pelvic area, quietly sabotaging everything we were working to improve. I got him walking 15 minutes each morning, standing more often throughout the day, and the difference was night and day. These 3 habits are silent wreckers. Most men have no clue they're doing them, but once corrected, results can kick. And almost immediately. And now that you know what to watch out for, let's take things one step further by showing you how to supercharge your results with simple daily changes that make a big impact where it matters most. 7. What else can you do? Once a man starts noticing results, better blood flow, stronger mornings, a quiet return of confidence, I often hear the same question: Doc, is there anything more I can do to keep this going? And my answer is always yes. Beetroot is powerful, but when you pair it with the right habits, your progress goes from good to remarkable. One of the most overlooked secrets: movement, not extreme workouts, not lifting heavy, just consistent, gentle activity. A 20-minute walk in the morning, a few bodyweight squats during commercial breaks, light stretching before bed. Movement fires up circulation, boosts nitric oxide, and brings oxygen right where you need it. I've seen men in their 70s feel more powerful in the bedroom just from daily walking. Sleep is another key factor. Your body makes most of its testosterone during deep, restful sleep. Miss that window consistently, and your hormone levels drop no matter how healthy your diet is. I tell every man, treat sleep like medicine. Go to bed at the same time. Keep your room dark. Avoid screens an hour before bed. Protect your recovery like your performance depends on it, because it does. And then there's stress, emotional stress, financial stress, even quiet, hidden worries. All of it spikes cortisol, which not only kills your testosterone, it tightens blood vessels, choking off your flow. You don't have to meditate like a monk. Just carve out a few peaceful minutes every day. Deep breathing, sitting outside, listening to music. Whatever soothes your nervous system, it matters more than you think. When these simple changes come together, movement, sleep, stress relief, hydration, and the right foods, you stop fighting against your biology. You start working with it. And when that shift happens, everything starts to align. Energy, desire, confidence. You're not chasing youth. You're unlocking the version of yourself that's still there, just waiting to be reawakened. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. It's the most important lesson I've learned in over 30 years of helping men reclaim their strength. And it might just change how you think about aging and about being a man forever. After decades of treating men from all walks of life, executives, teachers, veterans, husbands, grandfathers, I can tell you this. Losing strong erections isn't just a physical problem. It goes deeper. It changes how a man sees himself. I've sat across from men who seemed confident on the outside, but were silently wondering if their best days were behind them. And I've also seen what happens when we remind the body what it's still capable of with the right support. Today, you've learned the truth. It's not age stealing your erections. It's the gradual decline in blood flow, the drop in nitric oxide, and the small daily habits we often overlook. But you've also learned that something as simple as beetroot, a basic, humble vegetable, can reignite that system when used the right way. We talked about why pills often fail. They don't fix the root cause. We explored how beetroot works. With your body, not against it. You heard Harold's story, a man who thought it was over, but found a second chance just by changing what was on his plate. And we looked at the daily choices, good and bad, that either block or boost your progress. But in the end, what matters most isn't just the science. It's your belief. Belief that you're not done. That there's more in you, more vitality, more intimacy, more life to live. You don't have to accept decline as your destiny. With a few intentional changes, you can take back control of your body, your confidence, and your connection with those you love. So wherever you are on your journey, remember this. Your body hasn't given up on you, and neither have I. There is still time. There is still strength in you. Now's the time to use it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It helps more men discover life-changing information just like this. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone who needs this message. And drop a comment below whether it's a question, a success story, or just a quick thank you. I read every single one. And if you'd like to support this channel and help us keep delivering honest, expert-backed advice for men over 60, consider making a small donation. Every bit helps, and it means more than you know. Thank you for being here. Your health matters.